by that claim of calling Tim Walz retarded?
Yeah, I think there's something wrong with him. Absolutely.
Governor Walz asked you to release the MRI records.
Will you tell us what it was
Governor
for?
Walz? You mean the incompetent Governor Walz? So if they want to release it, it's okay with me to release it.
What part of your body was the MRI looking
I
at?
have no idea.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz responded strongly to President Donald Trump's recent comment, which targeted the state's Somali community and was widely criticized as seriously retarded. In a long post on Truth Social, Trump claimed that the refugee influx is the primary driver of social problems in the U.S., asserting that hundreds of thousands of Somali refugees are now dominating what he described as the once great state of Minnesota. Somalian gangs are roving the streets looking for prey as our wonderful people stay locked in their apartments and houses, hoping against hope that they will be left alone. The seriously retarded governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, does nothing, either through fear, incompetence, or both, while the worst, the U.S. president, unleashed on Truth Social. In response to a comment made in a Thanksgiving message, Walz replied, "Release the MRI results." In an NBC Meet the Press interview on November 30th, the Minnesota governor questioned President Trump's mental and physical fitness, criticizing his claim of not knowing why he had an MRI. Walz criticized Trump's late-night Thanksgiving rant in social media posts, calling them erratic, and concluded that he is deeply concerned the president may be incapable of performing the job.
Well, here we've got a guy on Thanksgiving where we spent time with our families, we ate and played gutsy, we cheered for football. This guy is apparently in a room ranting about everything else. This is not normal behavior. It's not healthy, and Present Throughout Time has released a couple of things. They've released their tax returns, not Donald Trump, and they've released their medical record, not Donald Trump. The MRI is one thing, but I think what's most concerning about this is, as your viewers out there are listening, has anyone in the history of the world ever had an MRI assigned to them and have no idea what it was for, as he says? So it's clear the president is fading physically. The mental capacity, again, ranting, crazily, at midnight on Thanksgiving about everything else, there's reasons for us to be concerned. This is a guy that randomly says the airspace over Venezuela is closed. He's ruminating on if you can win a nuclear war. This is a serious position, the most powerful position in the world, and we have someone at midnight throwing around slurs that demonize our children. At the same time, he's not solving any problems. So, I am deeply concerned that he is incapable of doing the job.
However, while aboard Air Force One, Trump, who labeled Governor Walz seriously retarded on Thanksgiving, defended the remark, saying, "I think there's something wrong with him." President Trump also announced that he will release the results of his October MRI. However, he has no idea which part of his body the MRI was performed on. Earlier, White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt said it was advanced imaging from his routine exam and showed he remains in exceptional physical health. Trump called the results perfect and added, "It was just an MRI. What part of the body? It wasn't the brain because I took a cognitive test and I aced it."
In that same post, you mentioned Tim Walz, and you called him what many Americans do find an offensive word, retarded. Do you stand by that claim of calling Tim Walz retarded?
Yeah, I think there's something wrong with him. Absolutely, sure.
You don't think that
You have a problem with it? You know what? I think there's something wrong with him. Anybody that would do what he did, anybody that would allow those people into his state and pay billions of dollars out to Somalia. We give billions of dollars to Somalia. It's not even a country because it doesn't function like a country. It's got a name, but it doesn't function like a country. Yeah, there's something wrong with Walz.
Mr. President, you said that you might denaturalize some American citizens. Can you talk
You
about
mean people that are in here that shouldn't be here?
that became Americans? Are you trying
Well, we'll
to
see.
revoke
I
their
mean, yeah, if we
citizenship?
have criminals that came into our country and they were naturalized maybe through a Biden or somebody that didn't know what they were doing. If I have the power to do it, I'm not sure that I do, but if I do, I would denaturalize absolutely.
What do you mean
When it
by
comes
Dan, do you have a question? Yeah.
What do you mean by reverse migration?
It means get people out that are in our country by as the worst president in the history of our country. But the single biggest thing he did was allow millions of people into our country that shouldn't be here. Drug dealers, prisons were opened up and allowed to come into our country. You take a look at the people that were allowed to come into our country. We're paying a big price for it, and we will for years to come, including the recent killer of two wonderful National Guards people. And I'll tell you what, that animal should not have been allowed to come into our country. Thank you very much, everybody.
Have you
Thank
spoken with the Andrew Walz family? Can you give us an update on
I
the
have
mission?
spoken to both families. Well, I mean, I can give you an update. They're devastated. Does that make sense to
Of
you?
course.
They're devastated.
Can you give us an update on Andrew Walz?
Well, as you know, the one is no longer with us, and Andrew is fighting for his life.
And
And his parents are unbelievably great people, highly religious people, and they're praying, and they want everybody to pray for Andrew, and he has a chance to make it, but he is, his mother and father, they were so unbelievable. They were so positive. From West Virginia, great state. I spoke with Sarah's parents too, and the only thing I can say, they were devastated.
do you plan
They
to
can't even believe it. Could happen.
your children? Do you plan to bring the Beckstroms to the White House? Do you
Yeah, I
plan
do. I do.
to- and
I've
do you-
already suggested it. I said, when you're ready, because that's a tough thing, come to the White House. We're going to honor Sarah. And likewise with Andrew, recover or not, we're going to honor him.
I do have one more
you-
question about Witkoff, because you mentioned, and this was asked previously, can you tell us what day Witkoff is going to meet with Putin? And then on that, is that meeting...
Sometime next week.
Okay, you don't have it. Is it early next week, late next week? Okay, I
Sometime
understand.
next week.
And
Mr.
can you,
President, on healthcare, because it's so important to so many
Yeah.
Americans.
You know, one of the reasons that healthcare can work is because of what I just did with favored nations. You're going to have drug prices coming down 500, 600, 700% because of me.
And you wanted
In
to
other words, we're going to have the lowest drug prices, tied for the lowest drug prices anywhere in the world. It's called favored nations, and you don't talk about it. It's probably the biggest thing to happen in medicine in the last 100 years, and it can have a huge impact, positive impact on pricing for healthcare.
Are you any
What about
closer
healthcare?
on
What about
that decision
extending
on
the
picking a
ACA?
new Fed chair? Are you any closer on that right now?
I know who I'm going to pick. Yeah.
oh,
Is
tell
it
us.
Kevin Hassett?
I'm not telling you. We'll be announcing it. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Mr.
This
President.
is a rocky
It's
flight.
a rocky one.
We're going to get out of here before something happens. They asked about my MRI.
Nope.
MRIs are very,
And Governor Walz asked you to release the MRI records.
Will you tell us what it was
Governor
for?
Walz, you mean the incompetent Governor Walz? So if they want to release it, it's okay with me to release it. It's perfect.
What was the
What were
reason
they
for
It's
it?
like my phone call where I got impeached. It's absolutely perfect. So if you want to hear about it or if you want to release it, do you want to have it released?
Yes,
News Nation, failing News Nation.
Oh, sir, we're not failing.
News Nation is doing lousy, by the way. But if you want to have it released, I'll release it.
Yes, please. Can you tell us what they were looking at?
For what, releasing?
No. What part of your body was the MRI looking at?
I have no idea. It was just an MRI. What part of the body? It wasn't the brain because I took a cognitive test and I aced it. I got a perfect mark, which you would be incapable of doing. Goodbye, everybody.